Good to have you, girl. Shack up or shack out. I love the theme alone.
So, Pearson, be warned. After this, I might not have a lot of love from people. I am willing to sacrifice myself for the greater good.
Amen. We tip our hats to you. We really want to thank you already in anticipation of what could very well be the outcome. So,
I
shack up
know.
or shack out. What are we talking about when
Yeah.
we say that?
All right. So let's be honest. In Barbados, as the Greater Caribbean, a lot of our couples are unmarried, and there are a lot of shacking up situations going on. Don't hate me, people. It's all about what you prefer. But I am here to tell you that there can be some consequences to deciding to buy property as part of a little shack up relationship. So the reality is, there's certain laws in place for married couples. They're seen as joint tenants in
Right.
general. So when if anything happens, they're kind of a set rules and regulations for what happens if one passes, if they divorce, etc., in terms of property. Not so much in the case of those who, for love, decide to buy property together. So you have to be cautious when proceeding.
So, what are some of the pitfalls, the dangers there? Because I mean, if we're in love, but yet we're not married and we're living in this place, but for whatever reason, after 2 years we split. But I've invested in this property. Am I not entitled to get back out of it what is mine?
Well, listen, I will start off by saying, love or not, put everything in writing. That is what will save you when things can and will go wrong. This is adult life, right? The reality is that, let's say, for example, Sheena Susie decides that she's getting married to John Bob. And you know what? For the sake of getting this mortgage off and running, Sheena Susie is going to sign off the mortgage herself. She has the capacity to pay. John Bob ain't really bringing much to the table. But guess what? They have then decided to go into this relationship and cohabitation exercise, believing that they own the property together. Well, really and truly, if Sheena Susie signed off, she is the owner. She has the title of the property in her name, and anything he puts towards it is like putting rent. He thinks he's an owner because she said, we own the property, but buddy, you ain't own a thing.
Nothing.
So when you guys break up, guess what? The law doesn't see you as a married couple. So Sheena Susie gets to keep all. Even if you did all the gardening, even if you painted all the walls, even if you put in that sweat equity, tough luck. Sheena Susie's name is on the title and it's her house. But then we look at other situations now where people come into the relationship and, well, one might provide perhaps just 20% of all that goes into it. The other might provide 80% of all that goes into it. And then one of them passes. And the 20% one is pretty much left with the house. But as far as 80% man was concerned, he's leaving his share to his children.
Right.
His adult children might come along and decide, we want the house to sell it and get our money out of it. And as far as 20% lady is concerned, but this is my house, I put in money. So you can see the myriad of problems that can arise.
But so when a married couple approaches you, Agent Shearet, and says, we're looking at the little place there in Strathclyde because we want to buy it. And you say?
Well, I start off by asking, what's your budget? I can't get up into your relationship. That is the tough part. However, I can tell you situations I have seen that make me shudder thereafter. For example, I have a property on the market now. They bought it as boyfriend and girlfriend, but guess what? They broke up. He has skipped out. She is stuck at the property with the mortgage because he's like, I'm out. So I'm not paying a cent more. And in her trying to keep it alive so that she can sell it, she is now saddled with the debt of this property and he's gone along about his business. And then might have the nerve to ask, so when you sell it,
remember
still give me PC money.
Yeah. Boy, that's hard. And that's hard for a lot of people. So don't let love blind you to the point where you don't protect your equity, so to speak. You know, that you make sure that those things are put in place so that you don't have that hassle.
Yes. And the reality is, Pearson, thanks to the world situation right now, as you know, especially in Barbados, it is easier to own property with a double income or two names on that mortgage. So when they do your checks and your financial checks, they're seeing income from two people. So for that reason, that's why a lot of unmarried couples are making these decisions to go in on it together. And also, instead of paying rent, you know, we still have that desire to own.
Right.
But the thing is, the whether it is a married relationship or just two people shacking up, you need to put pen to paper and decide what is going on. Another thing that happens too, and I keep seeing it, like say for example now, they bought a plot of land as boyfriend and girlfriend, and then John decides, I want to sell it. And she reluctantly agrees, but then she doesn't agree on the price, and on and back and forth. Yeah, so what starts off as love and bliss, and I am all for happy relationships, you have to think of the outcome and be sensible and sit down and write down, whether with legal help or not, what happens if we fall out of love? Does your portion go to your trifling children that I can't stand? Or are you can I buy you out? Can I, you have to have that discussion. Otherwise, heartbreak can literally almost physically be heartbreak.
Oh my goodness! So you better shack up or shack out. But I don't know if there's an easy way out. Really, I mean, yes, you say document, write it down, have an agreement in writing. But I don't know if there's an easy way out of the breakup and how the property is distributed at the end of the day. Well, so you got to think it through carefully.
Can I say this, Pearson? And I might get stoned. For this one. Ladies, let you put a ring on it first. Men, get down on your knee and do the old-fashioned thing. It's worth it in the end if you really feel in this one. If your mind can't get to that stage, let them go along. Let them go along. No shacking up for you.
Wow. Listen, you have a support in that one right here. If you can't do it together, don't do it at all. Go do it on your own. Go own your property on your own, but don't try to make an arrangement where at the end of the day it's fraught with so many challenges when you don't have a formal relationship in place. And that's the thing to guard against. So make that decision very carefully. So, in going forward now, we're saying to people today, if you're in an unmarried relationship, you're just in a relationship, casual or whatever, be careful as you go forward to have this joint property because it is going to run into some problems. Word to the wise is enough.